to the enemy's second point, but it is a 5 versus 5, and like I said before, Epsilon like this, but with Numlock going down already to the stickies in the pipes of Mark, this might be a little bit dangerous.
Again, guys, apologies for the radio cast here. We're just trying to bring you the action as the map is coming up. As Bash picks up a kill onto Mark, and Mike grabs another one on the tech, so that's going to put Epsilon a couple players up, and actually the back cap goes down, and Bash gets that round for Epsilon and makes it 1-0.
Do apologize for the round missing, ladies and gentlemen. Epsilon got pushed back after the first middle, ended up taking it back though as soon as Spin ended up going down to the massive bomb coming in from Gear. Very well played by him. Now, with this middle going live though, we spoke about the middle, about how versatile it is, about how what you can pretty much do everything on this middle. I'm looking at Tech at the moment, playing for RLM. We have a pause. That is a cliffhanger, if you want to call one, Slin. Look at that. They're just entering. We can analyze this perfectly. It's ideal.
Yeah. Typically teams will dedicate themselves to one or side or the other because process middle is so large, and I really like how Epsilon are just moving themselves towards the right, meanwhile RLM is moving themselves towards the left. So actually we'll see a battle here momentarily, but I think they did a courtesy if we can get our cameraman in.
I don't know if they actually have. It might have been. I'm not sure if this has been like a cameraman pause, but if it is, props to the players, because I've never actually seen the players care about like the cameramen specifically or about anything going wrong. As soon as they start, they just go, right? That's kind of what they do. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm assuming someone dropped or something like that. So still Epsilon eSports and RLM here on CP Process, and it gives us the time to talk about Process a little bit more. From what I can see in the chat, it is supposed to be RC2. It's not, I think. I think it's just, like, RC3 is the new version, right? Like, I know that's the new version. We've been playing it in pickups for weeks now, so I don't think, like, either ETF2L has not made an official news post, but I'm assuming RC3 is the version that's supposed to be played, so I don't really understand.
There's really no major differences between the two maps other than a few clipping errors, so it shouldn't affect the results at all. But you can see from these two maps that RLM has practiced this a lot, actually. Their mid fights are looking pretty strong, but despite their best attempts, Epsilon are just so much stronger in the DM and the chemistry, and mainly the focus fire there that we're seeing. So they're able to just come back in, Nox stays alive, and just brings that Uber right back in and wins the round for his team.
Okay, so as the unpause comes in really quickly, Slin, can we just analyze it in a way Epsilon is better, but the tactics that RLM has figured out are actually working surprisingly well? Is that like an accurate summary of what I can say?
Yeah, I think they've practiced the map pretty well, but then Epsilon, as we saw in the later rounds of Granary, were able to just figure out the strategy and take it over really quickly mid-match, and we should probably be seeing the same thing here in the second map.
We'll be seeing if the team in blue, the Epsilon eSports, can actually manage to keep the straw up so far. They lost the first middle, as I said. They lost it, but Spin going down to a massive bomb from Gear after that middle, managing to actually turn it around as Epsilon immediately got the Uber advantage and went Uber aggressive, managing to cap the entire round in probably less than a minute or so. With about 27.5 minutes left on the clock, we can see that RLM and Epsilon eSports have gone to this middle, and we have a second mini unpause.
The fake out.
They're I think they're just trolling us. That's what I think is happening.
Well, yeah, like we see though, both teams dedicating themselves to one side of the map, and Walters comes in hard, taking down Shocky. The bomb high up in the air as Tech gets taken down there by Mike Shotgun. A lot of players turn around for Epsilon though, and RLM is swarming themselves in. Flippy taking down Gear on the point. Haunter grabs the kill, Walter getting one of their own, and RLM looking pretty strong to try and finish this out. The one-on-one medic battle happening on the health pack as Nox grabs an Uber saw there on Mark. Can he get the rest of this Uber off? He's trying to escape out of the sewer. Gets, oh my gosh, the crossbow is out for Spin. He grabs one there, but
the chase. I think Nox is not free at all. Like, I think he's still going to be able to get chased out. Nox Warrior, he's still sitting on middle. Nox is going to try and sneak his way out. Now he comes, there he comes, finds the player, surfs. Is he going to be able to stay alive? No, he does not, as Nox drops to the floor. Walters gets shut down now, and Epsilon not liking that at all, as Nox puts out the really in chat, as he always does whenever he doesn't agree with anything. And RLM again, Slin, we see this time and time again. We saw it on Granary, we see it now in Process. Their middles are flawless. They seem to know exactly what they're supposed to do in order to beat Epsilon at their own turf.
yeah, and really nicely played there, and we need to see that momentum being translated into last, and here they go now. Uber popped out of the ramp room down the left side there. We do see Tech leading the way, but not really getting any frags for his team. Good damage though under the combo. Scouts pressure on the point, a lot of cap time, and RLM finally taking the first round in this match.
And as everyone predicted, it was going to be 5-0, 5-0. It is not. ladies and gentlemen, as RLM manages to pick that one up. I heard a couple of people crashed. I see Mike rejoining and Hunter rejoining. So both teams actually had a soldier crashing. They're going to get their way onto middle right now, though. The score is 1-1, ladies and gentlemen, and anything can happen. We know the HUD is broken. We're going to have to cast off the top right-hand side, Slin.
I said it on your stream earlier. I called 5-0-6-1. We're gonna see what happens on this next mid here. The early bomb high up in the air. Tech Craters out behind the enemy in their choke there. Actually, a lot of lit players for RLM. Epsilon coming back in. Bash getting 2 kills. Gear getting 1 on the spin. And Flippy. And it's only Walters alive to try and make something happen. He's backing himself off the sewer. But finally, another mid win for Epsilon.
I would say German middle if I've ever seen one. 5 frags, 5 German frags. As Gear and Bash managed to get 5 in between the two. And Nomlight is going to be able to finish Walters off there at the very end. Tech switching it up, picking up the rifle. And he kind of needs to get a headshot. He's going to try and poke onto that right-hand side. Sees the medic, hits the medic. Great shot from the Frenchman onto his countryman. As Nox overextending maybe a little. He could have expected it. But Tech is a deadly sniper if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, great placement in there as Bash picks up a kill on the mark with the demo man down. Looks like Epsilon could do a push here. RLM spin goes down in the lobby there as well. Walters getting taken down. Oh my gosh, so many frags going in the way of Epsilon, and they're all over the second point. Gonna get that one down for free.
Yeah, and Epsilon really, even though they're losing their medic, again, they're so confident. Look at Mike, that MG-style Mike that he has shown comes into play right there, gets the mini air shot. And again, the round gets picked up by Epsilon eSports. Losing their medic to a fantastic sniper shot is not going to do anything. And I think we have another pause. I'm 99% sure this is another pause. But round end might lag for us from time to time. 2-1 at the moment for Epsilon eSports. They're looking good. They're looking good. But again, they have lost every single middle so far.
Yeah, Bash is having such a strong game here, actually. And he's been doing a great job of just filling up on all of his teammates' kills. You see, Mike actually is at the bottom of the board, but he's been doing a great job opening up the plays for them as well. And Epsilon are just continuing to move in and win those DM fights, and RLM are having a tough time to compete.
Yeah, I said that Epsilon lost every single mid fight, but obviously they won the last one, right? They got the 5 German frags and unlocked, picking up 1. So obviously need to correct myself. It's the way it is. I don't think anyone noticed though, so I guess it's okay. Just gotta wait for this on-pause to happen, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, Process this week, together with Granary, we're gonna see a lot of Process over the next 2 weeks, as right now the quick on-pause comes in. We're gonna be able to go into the next bit of this game so far. We have about 5 minutes played, and there's already 3 rounds on the board. Very, very quick round so far here on Process. And with the 4th middle going live, can RLM do what they did the first 2?
They made a couple mistakes on the last mid there. Losing soldiers early on is a problem, especially when you bomb one in and before the rest of your team can get there and help you in support. So let's see what happens on the next mid here, Pledge.
Let's have a little bit of a look as Mark now comes in. Dodges the sticky, luckily, by Numlock. But look at the Devilman, they're fighting together. They're not going to be able to give each other an inch as Numlock now picks off Mark. Numlock was actually taken down. No, he was not taken down. The Process. My HUD is just broken. Now he gets taken down, though. But with Spin, Tech, Mike, Gear, everyone is dropping to the floor. It is a massive graveyard of multiple languages, really, as everyone just drops. Walters picks 1, Hunter picks up 1. And I think there's Portuguese bodies, there's Swedish bodies, there's Englishmen, and there's German there as well. There's pretty much everything there around that middle. As Nox gets to the Walters, but he's not going to prevail against Hunter in there and grabbing that kill with the French medic.
These mids are questionable from Epsilon. I mean, the last one was good, but RLM are keeping themselves together. Great job there for the bombs for them this time, and then the follow-up is incredible. And despite losing their medic, they were able to pick off Nox and completely wipe the enemy team. And now Spin, coming up early because he died first, is going to have a 40% Uber advantage.
Let's have a little bit of a look here as the middle once again picked up RLM, and we see the crit streak coming out for Nox.
I don't know if this is a good decision to run Chris Creek here because Spin is going to have such a large advantage, and Nox is building very heavily actually. RLM are doing a poor job of building, and Nox might actually get this in time. Gear goes down, and he's at 88.
It's going to have to be a magnificent sticky, and even then, no, look, it's going to be completely even. I'm not really sure about this crit streak decision. Losing a middle like that is not really Epsilon's thing. Nomlock gets 2 though, completely blind. And how much is the Uber really going to do? It is a 6 versus 4, 5 versus 4, sorry, as Gear had 1 down earlier. And let's see, in what way is RLM going to be able to push onto this? Or are they going to realize, you know what, last time we did this, we got mauled. Let's back out. But they back out way too late as Tech and Flippy drop to the floor. Numlock drops as well. But I think, in all honesty, RLM may have overextended a little bit straight after that Uber.
Yeah, a bit of miscommunication or indecision there. Half the team went in, half the team stayed out for RLM. And this is exactly what they're talking about. They just don't have that chemistry they needed. The correct call was not to go in and just keep your Uber up, but it looks like they lost a ton of players there, and they lost their second point that they worked so hard to get back.
Let's say that the crit streak is suddenly a correct decision. So we got to keep in mind, right? 95% crit streak already. Spin not even close to having that. And Numlock with the blind sticks usually has been doing a good job. Now it's a soldier crit streak coming from the side though. They walk through. They're going to try and not use that. Bash now making his way through. And now the Numlock crit streak follow-up is going to happen. They're going to make their way through choke. This middle point should really be no problem whatsoever. As the stickies get puffed onto the side, the crazy shot from Flippy barely does not connect, but Flippy does get shot down right now. One crit sticky lands, but with Mike going down, I don't think RLM is going to mind this exchange very much.
Yeah, great job by RLM to stay away. They knew that Nox had the crit streak. They played away now, and Spin has that Uber coming in now hot as Hunter with that Uber takes down Numlock, and that's a great early pick there. Epsilon are 2 players down without their demo man. It's going to be difficult for them to do anything here at all. Both scouts are hiding out in the PC room there, trying to make something happen, but they're going to get cornered by the combo from behind. Hunter takes down Shocky, and the other scout, Bash, is in trouble as well.
Yeah, I think the scouts from Epsilon really are not going to have any shot there. Right now, Flippy manages to fight himself in a way as well. Just kill that guy, please. As Bash now drops to the floor. He has a 20-second timer immediately on his bus right now. We can see everyone from RLM streaming towards this middle. And Epsilon, they look out of position to me, but that's what I've been saying to you, Slin, on the first map. Usually, the usual good Epsilon, not the one we see today, because they make mistakes. They seem human to me. But the usual good Epsilon, they don't make mistakes. They bait it. But the crit sticky coming out from Numlock. 1 hit, 2 hits. Gets Spin, gets Haunter. Is he going to be able to connect more? Any more? No. That's not going to happen. But it is an advantage that they were looking for. And Epsilon with an advantage is really almost impossible to beat.
I feel like Nox is just staying crit streak the whole time because he's just bored of normal Uber, but the chemistry between him and Numlock on his crit streaks are incredible. And actually we see the scouts for Epsilon getting another 2 picks there. Actually the demo man goes in for a bomb from RLM Mark, but he gets denied by Bash, and that cap is going to go down for free for Epsilon. Huge crit streak advantage for Nox over Spin, and this is looking bad for RLM.
75% on the crit streak at the moment, 45% on the Uber charge for Spin. Spin is already, look at RLM, they're already sitting on last. Like, screw that, we're not even going to show up on second. There's no point for us doing that. Tech picks up the heavy weapons guy, and really, to have a shot at this, I feel Spin needs to buff that guy first. Tech needs to be 450 in order to be able to have enough health to hold off against this crit streak. The push now comes out. Here comes the crit sticky from miles away, hitting Spin directly in the face. Connects one onto Walters as well, and Numlock's really showing why he's one of the best Dellmen in the world. Every sticky from him seems flawless throughout this map, Slin.
Yeah, great job by him. He got 3 or maybe even 4 frags on that last point, but also Bash is doing an incredible job here as well. And Epsilon are going up 3-1. And that crit streak is just, I don't know, there's nothing that RLM can seem to do to combat that crit streak, because once they get that advantage, they take down Spin and they just keep rolling it all the way through.
I think it's a little bit of mind games coming in, because we see Nox going regular Uber charge now. And I think I've seen this in Division 1 happening recently. It just seems that teams seem to be switching between crits and regular Uber for a while now. Here we go. I'm looking at Mike right now, coming up the top, gets one. He's not going to be able to hit the follow-up shots. Now he's going to come in from the side, but it is a 4 versus 6. And again, Epsilon, they don't seem to figure out those middles at all.
Well, RLM is all over the point. Great point presence from them, denying the enemy a chance to get at their health packs, and that's really what's doing it. The presence up in the air as well from the soldiers from RLM is just incredible, and Epsilon are not doing very well on those mids, but they do have that Uber charge there to try and defend second point, and it looks like they may be going for an exchange here to try and make something happen, get the Ubers out of the way. The Ubers pop now from Spin. Nox also pops his as well, but Epsilon are 2 down, with the respawners need to come in quickly here if they want to be able to hold second point, and it looks like they're going to be able to do just that.
The double air shot from Mike completely denying the soldier mid-air. After that, the follow-up coming right now onto the downman. Gets the damage done. Very well played by Mike there. Single-handedly doing a good job of holding out the RLM players, not letting them come in. Nox has gone down though. Very well played by Walters as he picks off Mike as well. But again, it seems to be the fragging ability of both of these teams. And you know what? I think if it wasn't for Walters, this would have been a lot more devastating. But at the moment, as it seems, RLM is going to be able to hold the second point.
Yeah, I think if the teams more evenly matched, RLM should have held on to that. You saw that it was 2-on-1 at the very end of that fight, and Epsilon shouldn't have won that, but somehow they did.
Losing a medic very, very early, obviously, was not a very good idea, and I think I see a crit screen again on Nox. Literally, Slin, in the current meta in Europe, I've been seeing this for weeks now. It started in Division 1, but now I see Prem teams doing it as well. They go crits so often.
Yeah, every
And
time
I'm not sure
both
what the
medics
deal
go
with
down.
it is, but they just do. I don't know.
Yeah, every time both medics go down, Nox is immediately just the crits creep because he knows he's gonna have that 20% advantage, and him and Numlock are so good with it. Here we see them now moving their way through the choke. Let's see what's gonna happen.
The crit still happens yet. 95% on the spin, dude. If you get taken down again. Oh, the sniper shot coming in. Crits gets popped off. Here it comes. Flying sticky across the map. Mark gets taken down. Uber gets popped off though, but Uber was on the wrong target. Can they capitalize on it? Nox is 20 HP, and the entirety of Epsilon seems to be tucked in a nice, neatly corner, and is going to be able to stay alive throughout that entire thing. Hunter gets a pick onto Gear though, so it is a 5 versus 5, but losing your Delman is not going to be a good idea. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Germans are rising. Shocky and Bash walk into there, get the double kill onto Hunter and onto Spin. Very well played by them. And let's see if Epsilon can manage to close this one out now.
Good attempt there by RLM to turn that with that counter Uber, but Shocky just dove in there and took down the Spin. It was tragic. And Epsilon now coming out on top. Loader's pressure onto the battlements here, and the scout Flippy is in trouble in the PC. Can he do anything about this second point? He's in a lot of trouble there. No, goes down to Gear. And Epsilon now up 2 players pushing second point with crit streak advantage.
Oh, the crit streak, it's the whole meta game seems to be shifting. Hunter's going to try to. Hunter gets one. He's not going to get the follow-up. He actually got 2 rockets in, but both of them were not like full pool, like, what is it called? Like, pool blank, something blank. I don't know what it is. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Crit streak is coming in, and Numlock with a crit streak, ladies and gentlemen. That's a scary beast. That's what we've been seeing so far throughout the entire day. Doesn't get anything.
Not a good
so
crits.
far, it's a free point though.
Yeah, but I think they could have held on that crit just a little bit longer there. They didn't get anything with it. There's lots of stickies all over the place, but now RLM have an Uber advantage ready to come in, but no, this guy from behind. Shocky again taking down Spin. He gets in there somehow every single time, takes down Spin, and denies them a chance to push forward. And this is just small little mistakes that RLM are making.
Cannot believe that right now, as RLM still slowly but surely seems to be losing grip. They win every single middle, let's be honest. But again, time after time after time again, they seem to barely not be able to make it, and there's a little bit of mistakes here and there that seems to be really separating them from Epsilon at this moment in time.
Well, now that crit streak comes in from Numlock out the right side lobby door. Flippy goes down to a normal sticky there, but again, this crit streak isn't doing very much, but he's sticking out those spawn doors. Now it comes RLM to try and deny something. Hunter takes down Nox the medic. That's a good pick there, but it doesn't really matter. The medic is the least valuable class on last. He can't kill anything at all. And Epsilon go up 4-1.
4-1 at the moment, and Slin, it's looking dangerously close to you being right about a European game. And I'm really not going to like it if that's the case, I can tell you that. If Americans can start predicting our own games, we should probably just quit Team Fortress 2. I think that's kind of what it is. As right now we can see Epsilon making their way through. So far, 5 middles have been played. 4 of them went to RLM. What's going to happen this time?
Well, looks like Numlock again trying to walk his way across the point. Great sticky damage onto the soldiers. He's finally trying to deny that health pack there. A lot of the players on Epsilon, but they're able to finally come in and take down Flippy and Tech. And more picks are coming in as Shocky finishes off Walters there. Spin just trying to get out. He has 50 health on him. Scout trying to chase him out there. Shocky down to just 5. But no one is getting finished out there. Finally, Haunter with the shotgun to take him down. But the Epsilon only lost 1 player on that mid fight there, and Mike is already chasing out Spin to last. He's got him cornered there by the lobby. 1 rocket on him, 2, 3 now. Spin down to just 14 health and finally getting finished off, and Nox huge advantage here.
It's a standard Epsilon way of doing things, as they just rush last. They don't really care about anything. They know they have to Uber. The scouts will cap it in somewhere behind them at some point in time. The most important thing is that they spawn raid for as long as they can to annoy and to completely tear apart the enemy team. And that was the Epsilon that I've been seeing for a couple of seasons now, slowly but surely. A middle that really just shows how good Epsilon is. Can they do that again? And can they close this game off? Or does RLM have some sort of a surprise still right there in the bag for us?
Numlock's messed up his rollout there, and he's a little bit upset about it as he waves his mouse around, and he's actually trying to get some pressure on the right side, but Mark was faster than him, and he sticks him off of the point. Soldiers up in the air for Epsilon. The bomb comes in now from Tech. He's trying to make it happen, but no, gets taken down by Gear, and Epsilon go 1, 2 players up here now as Mike takes down Haunter. He goes down himself though, so still 5 on 4. Can Epsilon finish this out there? They've pressured out the enemy combo, and RLM decide to give up mid.
I'm dropping out of that one, but I don't think Mark is going to like the position that he's in at the moment. It doesn't look like Epsilon's going to chase out, though. So the English Devilman is going to be able to stay alive here. Recap with his medic, with both medics now on 100%. I think this is one of the first times in a couple of rounds now that we've actually seen Uber versus Uber. I think it's been a while.
Yeah, but Epsilon are actually 6 on 5 here now with the respawner Walters, and they want to push here quickly. They need to do it quick if they want to get Walters before it got in before Walters gets in actually, and looks like they're just sacrificing a soldier in now. Sacrificing both soldiers. Not quite sure what they're doing there. The Ubers are exchanged, and Epsilon, I guess, dropped both of their soldiers there. So a little bit questionable play, and now RLM will have a chance to push into mid. 2 players up, Pledge.
Yeah, let's have a little bit of a look. There's RLM making their way through, but to be fair, the stickies from Numlock absolutely deadly, and the pipes now connecting as well. Bash, Shocky, and Numlock, all 3 picking up 1, but now with Bash and Nox going down, I think RLM is going to like the exchange, but with the spawners coming in, they're going to be forced to back out of this one. Spin is still alive, though. If they can keep that guy alive, it might still be okay, but they're way too aggressive here. Get the hell out of there, Reds. What are you doing? Get the hell out. That's
Yep, the
not the
saving
place
grace.
where you want to be.
Saving grace there for them was they were able to take down Nox, and so Spin is just building a maneuver here on his second point, grinding along with the scout, and he's gonna have that Uber advantage pushing mid. Bash knows it, so he switched over to Sniper here to try and combat that. And the thing about Process is that it has that very long Sniper sightline, and Bash is gonna use that, is gonna exploit that here now as he's peeking down that right side of mid.
Might as well go crits. If you're up against an Uber advantage, might as well go crits. It seems to be a general theme around the European meta at the moment, where a lot of teams just go crits, like they force Uber, and then they just have a quicker Uber. They have a quicker push to work with, and Epsilon very clearly saying, well, we're better in every single way. So if we just go crits and have a little bit of an advantage, we can just win. And that's what they're going to try and do right now. Sniper Bash plus Crits Krieg seems to be a new way of Epsilon pushing here into its middle. Gonna try and take this one for free. Can Bash make the shot? No, missed the demo man. But Nox gets taken down. Well played by the Swedish Walters, as that might actually put a dent in everything that Epsilon was trying to do.
Yeah, a bit of a misplay there from Spin. He pops the Uber to the Sniper, and that Uber didn't do anything for RLM, so then Epsilon were able to come back in with that Crits Krieg like you talked about and take everybody out. Nox goes down on the process there, so it's still okay for them. They can hold on to the last point, but Numlock trying to pressure in actually gets taken down by Mark. Maybe RLM can turn this one around here with players down for Epsilon.
Let's have a little bit of a look, as right now they're going to look to try and block this one. Bash still sitting there, hits one headshot. Don't know what he hits, but he hit something because I heard it. It looks like Bash should get taken out tech, so it must have been him. As right now Epsilon is making their way through. Mr. Spin, what are you doing at the moment? Looks like the regular Medigun has been pulled out, but Nox once again saying, nah, I like my crits. I think it's okay. Just keep doing it.
Yeah, RLM showed that no intention of pushing out of this. Flippy is actually on Engineer here now, and the crits doesn't do any extra damage to that sentry gun, so hopefully that sentry can come in big for RLM there. Tech is actually on Sniper here as well, as Walters tries to make a play in the lobby and gets denied there by Mike, so now Nox just 5 seconds away from getting that crit screen. The bomb comes in as
he's still there.
Is that Mike trying to make a play? Yeah, I guess Flippy denies that there. He does spot out that sentry though for his team. But now Spin has that Uber. The crits crit comes in from Numlock. Oh, Spin gets dropped there to the crits. Numlock gets another kill onto Haunter, and Epsilon are just waiting. The seconds are ticking down here for them to finish out this round.
Let's be completely honest. Spin has been playing a fantastic game so far. Throughout this entire game, his Ubers has been spot on. He barely has been caught out by anything that was his fault. And really, so far, that was the first mistake happening in just the dying seconds of the game, right? I feel for the guy, right? But RLM is not going to give up just yet. Spin has respawned. Everyone is going. And with just Bash alive, he is playing Spy, though. Here he comes. He's going to make his way up. Has he uncloaked yet, or has he not? It looks like he has not.
That was an insane last defense from RLM. You saw that their medic went down early on, but they were still able to hold that one off with the help of the sentry.
Here it comes! Oh, no, Spin, no, not twice. Twice in a minute that he actually managed to get caught off guard. Again, the whole trend in European Team Fortress 2 is if you do something great, your team will mess up. And that's what Epsilon is doing right now. They kill the medic, and then they die. We can see right now that RLM very clearly is going to be able to pick up this middle. Tick is going to try and make a bomb happen onto Nox though, Slin. And he might be able to just do it as he now comes throughout the side. He's going to sit into sewers at full health.
Yeah, RLM are 2 players up here, and they have a chance to make a play, but their combo's a little bit slow, only respawning here now. And the bomb is in from Tech. No! Doesn't get it down. Walters and Tech both go down, and Nox is just at like 17 health. He could have gone down there, but no, didn't get it to go. And RLM on the verge of losing mid here now as Epsilon up 2 players to try and push mid.
Let's see, Spin running crit? No, he's not running crits. What am I thinking, right? Like, of course, this is right now Nox. He is going to run that regular Uber charge. He's really the only guy I have to check throughout the entire game so far. 90% versus about 90%. So both of these teams are going to hit Uber. And for the second time this game, we're actually going to have an Uber versus Uber fight. I love it.
Pushing through the PC now. And the Uber is exchanged. Actually, Spin pops his Uber there, and Nox just milking away. Farmer Brown finally popping his Uber here now. On to Mike and Numlock. Mike now chasing out a soldier, missing the air shot, but cornering out a scout. Hunter and Walters both going down there. And now with Spin getting finished off by Gear, this looks like Epsilon have cleaned up their second point very well.
It's up to Tech now. Tech comes towards the point, misses the point blank. Yes, I said it. Onto the scouts, as right now it's not a poop blank anymore, but it's Epsilon moving their way onto the last here. As we can see, Epsilon grabbing it out 6-1, ladies and gentlemen. And Mr. Slin has predicted a European 6v6 game. The perfect correct score. That is absolutely fantastic, Slin. I have to commend you for that.
No problem.
Could just say thanks instead of no problem. Jesus Christ. You're ruining European Team Fortress by being right, single-handedly. As obviously, you're going to be casting later on, right? If I can remember correctly?
We got more Team Fortress TV going on in like 6 hours, so...
It's 6 hours, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have some more Team Fortress TV coming live at you with Slin and Seabear going to be casting that truck on camera with a game between, I gotta say it right, I think it's AG versus HRG. You said it earlier today.
Perfect.
I think I got that right. Thanks so much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching here at Team Fortress TV as Epsilon eSports picks up their next victory in their race towards the championship here in Season 15. Week number 4 is down, and number 4 is going to be happening for the next week, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back on Sunday with more European coverage, but for now, the European coverage is going to take a break. We'll be back over the weekend, guys. I hope you enjoy your weekend. Have a very good Thursday evening, and obviously, don't forget, if you're up in 6 hours, go and watch the American Team Fortress 2, ladies and gentlemen. It is awesome. Thanks for watching. Have a very good night. And from all of us here at Team Fortress TV, you're awesome. Thanks.